Good morning, people of Midlothian and beyond. Trekker walk time, and August trekker walk we're going to be meeting at Harlaw Reservoir car park, and we're going to go on a 6.5 mile loop round past Harlaw Reservoir, Threipmuir Reservoir, down the side of Black Hill. 6.5 miles. Now the car park here at Harlaw you do have to pay for now, and I've just paid £7.50 because the options were a couple of hours. 4 hours was a fiver, and I thought I'm not going to do this in 4 hours. We might do the walk in 4 hours, but I've gone for the safe route of £7.50 anyway. So yeah, you have to pay for the car park now here at Harlaw Reservoir. So there is a cost to this one, unfortunately. But let's go and have a wee look around this route and show you what's in store. Yeah, so unfortunately, need to pay for the car park now. But then again, it all goes to help keep the Pentlands Regional Park running, I suppose. But yeah, 4 hours, £5, that should be fine on the day. Should only take us two and a half-ish hours, 3 maybe. But when you're filming, waffling, stopping and starting, it takes a bit longer. I feel like I should do the gladiator bit with all this wheat. Of course, if you're up this way, just out for a walk, if you follow the path up through the gate at the field there, and then go straight up between those two hills, you can go down to Glencorse Reservoir, or you can go up where the woods are away up that hill. I don't know if you'll see them from there. You can head up to Bavelaw Reservoir. So there's lots of choices. Parking out this here way. There we go, the first part of Threipmuir Reservoir. Let's go and see if we can see anything moving in the water. So here you go, Threipmuir Reservoir. Not too bad on this side, but on this side, that's the lowest I've ever seen it. Don't know if you can see a sort of heron walking along the water there, looking back at me. Yeah, it's quite very low. Even the staircase for the fish, the salmon, trout or whatever, it's bone dry. So, Threipmuir Reservoir. Now when we get to this part of the walk, we do have a bit of a wee climb over the fence, using the stile. And a very appropriate message at the moment about fires and the risk of fires, and not to light a fire here on the Pentland Hills. Welcome to the moor. So you can see buzzards, common curlew, meadow pipit, lapwing, merlin, red grouse and roe deer around these parts. So there is a wee climb from where we go over the gate there, just up to this bit here. We come down these little woods, and then along, and then across. Little incline onto the path here. We're at the bottom of Black Hill, and we're just going to go along the path round the bottom of it. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's very mild. I might be in a t-shirt in a minute. Whew. So, Trekker Walk. What should you bring? What is it? Trekker walks are a little bit longer. This one's 6.5 miles. We head out sort of into the countryside. We don't climb the hills. Well, now and again we do. We don't climb the hills. We sort of weave between them and try and find some nice walks that gets you away from it all. So what should you bring? Bring sensible walking shoes. Just on this one alone, we've had tarmac, we've had farm roads, we've had loose gravel, we've had tree roots sticking out, we've got uneven ground, and depending on the weather, it can depend how muddy things are as well. So, some decent walking shoes. Dress appropriate for the day, so check the weather forecast before you come along and have your waterproofs. Wear layers. So this layer is about to come off because I'm roasting. Bring water and some food with you. We don't stop for lunch, but just bring some food in case you need a bit of energy. Although we do stop as we go around just to take in the views and have a wee rest. Anything else? No, that's it, I think. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. Just now, we're just heading along this path at the bottom of Black Hill. There's a steady sort of incline from where we crossed the fence up, and from a distance, if you're up in the other hills, on the other side especially, from a distance when you look at Black Hill, it's like a big quilt, all the moss and heather, big squares of it. It's quite cool. Now last year, or it could have been the year before, in one of the videos I was talking about step counters and how, well, they're a good thing, they can also be a bad thing, because if you don't do your steps for the day, it can put you on a negative. However, have you ever wondered where the 10,000 steps a day comes from? If I told you that there was no research done for that, no medical research, no trials, no surveys, nothing, would you be surprised? Considering doctors, nurses, everybody says 10,000 steps a day. Do 10,000 steps a day. And doing 10,000 steps a day at an average sort of pace can take quite a while. It can be about 2 hours. So it depends on your lifestyle, what you do, where you work, if you can manage that. So 10,000 steps a day, where does it come from? In 1965, the Japanese government commissioned a company to make the world's first pedometer that you can put on yourself and walk, to try and encourage people to get out walking more, fitness, etc. The company made one and they had to come up with a name. So the character in Japanese for 10,000 looks like somebody walking. It's manpo kui, I think that's how you say it. It looks like someone walking, so that's what they called it. The manpo kui pedometers. That's where the 10,000 steps comes from. Nothing to do with anybody doing trials or anything. So since then, obviously, people have done things, trials and reports, etc. And what they've found is, for over 50s, between 1,000 and 7,500 steps a day gives you the most benefit. After 7,500 steps, it sort of tapers off and plateaus. So between 1,000 and 7,500 is where you get the most benefit. Now yeah, if you walk 10,000, fine. If you walk 20,000, fine. But for over 50s, that's the sweet spot. That's what you want to be aiming for. As long as you've done that 7,500, you're good. For younger folk, it's higher, so you keep going. You keep going as far as you want. So you've done your steps for the day, and you've got to about 7,000 or 7,500 or 8,000. Don't think, oh no, I've not done my 10,000. 10,000's a myth. You know, 7,500. As long as you're near there, you've done a lot. It's crazy how these things just start. For instance, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Okay, so where's that come from? What scientific research told us this? None. Okay, it was invented, if you like, by a chap called John Harvey. If I tell you his last name, his full name is John Harvey Kellogg. Okay, it was his sales pitch for selling his cereal way back in 1927, I think. So breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Nope. It comes from a sales pitch, an advertising campaign put out there by John Harvey Kellogg. It's amazing which things come into sort of folklore and everybody goes with, but nobody really thinks about where did that come from. So there you go. These are the things I've taught you today. Remember them, share them in the pub, use them at a quiz night. Listen closely. Sheep, birds, me breathing, peace and quiet. And as I said, on the day, check the weather before you head up, just to make sure you've got the right gear on. Dress for anything, we're in Scotland after all. We've been out on trekker walks towards summer, and it's snowed and there's been ice. You just never know. You just never know. And like I said, car park you have to pay for. 4 hours, £5. That should be fine. I paid £7.50 because when you're filming things and stopping and starting, it takes a bit longer. But that should be fine, so we'll leave at 10 AM. I don't know if I said that. 10 AM is when we start. We'll head off. So be there at that time. And come along and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Pentlands. So this path that goes round this way is known as Green Cleugh. It just goes up and round. Of course, a cleugh is a gorge or ravine, a small gorge or ravine. We're not going this way, but it's such a nice sight. Let's just walk down that way for a wee bit, because there's a great view down here in the valley. Very nice. These are some big gates. It must be coming into the Jurassic period. Yeah. Shut the gate. No wildfires. Obviously to keep the deer from getting out that way. Haven't seen any this morning, usually an early morning walk. See quite a few. Up here we have Hare Hill. And Hare Hill's famous because up there is the ruins of a German World War II bomber, or bits of it anyway now. On the 25th of March 1944 they came across to bomb Leith Docks. It's a Junker Ju-88 bomber, and just like we do nowadays, we checked the weather forecast and it said, oh, nice clear night or a nice sunny day. But when they got to here, there was fog and har, so they couldn't see where they were going, crashed into the hillside. 4 people on board, all perished in the crash. And there's a little monument up there that people visit, pop flowers down on. So you're in the area, just look that up on the OS maps or whatever, and it'll show you the paths up that way to go and visit. There's no wind, it's quite warm, so there's lots of flies following me along. I think they can smell my sandwiches in my bag. So for everybody else out there who doesn't want to go wandering in the hills, in the countryside, just get out and walk on a weekly basis, daily basis. You know, some is good, more is better. Start small, maybe 1 walk a week, might just be round the block, and then just build it up from there. Especially with winter coming in and the dark nights, try and get out during the day so you can get sunlight, which is very important in the winter. So out for a little walk during the day will do you the world of good. And looking back from whence we came, if you can see through the flies. So we're now in the Bavelaw estate, which has a castle, or a house with turrets, I would say. There's been a building there since before the 16th century, and it's been built up over the centuries. Mary Queen of Scots stayed there, and James VI also stayed there. Well, where has Mary Queen of Scots not stayed? That's what I want to know. I'm surprised she's not stayed in my house. That is a nice wall. You know how I like a nice preserved wall. Goes down quite a bit. That proper workmanship. So far today I've only seen 2 folk out walking the dogs. We have been up this road before on a walk. It was the Midlothian Walking Festival, and we went from Harlaw up to the Cold Stained Slap, then across to Carlops. So we went up that way. We've come down this way. We went up that way, which was a good walk. And while we're on this path, we'll pop in to the Red Moss of Balerno Wildlife Reserve. Why not? Some people may never have been in here before. It's been built up with layers of peat for thousands of years. And you can see frogs, dragonflies, newts, toads, lots of wildflowers. So we're out of the Red Moss Nature Reserve, back in Bavelaw. This path here takes us up to Threipmuir Reservoir car park. We'll go past there, head back to Harlaw. Harlaw. It's one of those days when, have I been saying Harlow or Harlaw? I think I've been saying Harlow. So if I have, ignore all of them and go with Harlaw Reservoir. I'm only human, you know. It's hard directing, filming, narrating, walking, breathing, looking out for dangers, all at the same time. If anybody's lost their bike chain, it's here, just down from Threipmuir car park. Ooh, look at this. Most of the times I've walked up here, there's a little beach bit up there you can go on, and a wee one down here. But then you go on the road to walk down. But I mean, all of this is usually underwater. Now, Threipmuir and Harlaw Reservoir, once used for drinking water, supplying drinking water to Edinburgh and other places in the Lothians, is now used mostly as a flood defence. And it's also a nature reserve, and there's fishing here, but you need to apply for a fishing permit. And it's also good for walks. Don't know if you can see down there, see it? The heron just sitting fishing, waiting for its breakfast. I wonder if I should tell him about breakfast not being the most important meal of the day, and he's been duped. And here you go, Harlaw Reservoir. It does exist. You can possibly see that quilt effect I was talking about earlier on Black Hill now from here. You see the little squares. Much more on the other side if you're on the other side of it. There is a nice little bench here at the head of Harlaw Reservoir. Let's have a look in Harlaw Wildlife Garden while we're here. Oh, there's a pond. There's a pond down there, just all covered at the moment. Can't see any movement. So they've got a wildflower meadow, a pond, a raised sensory bed, nectar border, habitat pile and a herb garden. And some picnic benches up there if you've got your lunch with you. Well, these little things come out, give you some more information. Hey, upside down. That's for everybody up here to read it, and if you're Australian, do it that way. So there's benches here as well for sitting on. So if you just want a wee chill out, come in. The compost bit. Come in and have a wee wander around. Don't see any movement down here in the pond. Very nice. No dogs allowed in the garden there. And now we head back to where we started in Harlaw car park. So join me on Wednesday the 26th of August, Harlaw Reservoir car park. We will leave at 10 AM for just over a 6.5 mile loop round the bottom of Black Hill, past the Harlaw Reservoir and Threipmuir Reservoir and Bavelaw Estate and back. See you there.